Leftover, the real treatment. Introduction. Anything that is of no use to us is termed as waste or garbage. Generally, we throw away the garbage, but garbage also needs proper treatment. If treated properly, garbage can also be brought to use. Rock Garden in Chandigarh is a very good example of it. The waste or garbage can be put up in two categories, that is, organic and inorganic. We have to know their types before we actually dump them. Types of waste. Garbage. Most people refer to garbage as waste, meaning anything that is of no use to us. Some of the common wastes in our surroundings include dead and decaying remains of animals and plants, unwanted products of metabolism, discarded materials from industries and houses, the unused and unwanted materials from offices, agricultural waste, and so on. Apart from being unhealthy, they even give an unpleasant look to our environment. As already stated, wastes can be organic or inorganic. In other words, they may be biodegradable or non-biodegradable. Waste that can be broken down by microorganisms is said to be biodegradable. Waste that cannot be broken down by microorganisms is said to be non-biodegradable, and the one that is not made up of plant and animal products is said to be inorganic. Biodegradable wastes are broken down by microorganisms and become a part of the nature and disappear into the environment. On the other hand, non-biodegradable wastes cannot be broken into harmless products by microbes. In the other words, we can say organic waste is biodegradable and inorganic waste is non-biodegradable. Wastes can also be classified on the basis of their toxicity. They may either be toxic or non-toxic. Waste is said to be toxic if it contains substances that are harmful to living organisms. Otherwise, it is non-toxic. Waste. Organic. Waste from plant and animal products. Biodegradable. Paper, jute, food waste, fecal matter. Inorganic. Waste from other than plant and animal products. Non-biodegradable. Plastic, glass, metals, synthetic fibers. Toxic. Waste from mines, industries, lead, mercury, radioactive substances. Non-toxic. Paper, rag, fruits, vegetables. Waste is generally thrown into an open area called the landfill. A landfill is a natural slope or a man-made trough that is filled up with waste. Garbage collected from collection points is transported to landfills by trucks. Landfills are usually away from habitation to ensure that the rotting garbage does not pollute the land and water used by people or spread diseases. The other precaution taken is not to dump toxic waste into landfills. Landfills are also covered with soil to prevent open rotting of garbage and scattering by scavengers. They should be lined with plastic foam or other suitable material to prevent leaching. Leaching is the seepage of dissolved substances from the decomposing garbage into the soil. The dissolved substances are called leachate. Time taken by different types of waste to decompose. Types of waste. Time taken. Vegetable peels, food leftover, 1 to 2 weeks. Paper, 10 to 30 days. Cotton cloth, 2 to 5 months. Wood, 10 to 15 years. Metal, 100 to 500 years. Plastic, million years. Sources of waste. Waste comes from almost everywhere. The most common sources of waste are domestic and industrial. Other sources include agricultural, biomedical, commercial and e-waste. Domestic waste is the waste that comes from our houses. The largest generator of waste in the house is the kitchen. Industrial waste includes waste from industries. They are quite harmful. Agricultural waste includes waste from agricultural fields. This includes the husk, leaves, vegetable matter, manures. They are primarily organic and biodegradable in nature. Biomedical waste includes the waste from hospitals and clinics. These include bandages, blood-stained clothes, expired medicines, used-up syringe, and so on. Such waste is highly toxic in nature. Commercial waste includes waste from shopping malls, marketing complexes, and so on. They contain biodegradable as well as non-biodegradable substances. E-waste includes the waste related to computer. These include dried-up cartridges, used-up paper, magnetic strips, floppies, etc. Waste management. Waste management means the proper dealing and handling of the waste. The first step of waste management is to produce less waste. Practicing the 3 R's is a good method of waste management. The 3 R's stand for reducing, reusing, recycling. If 3 R's are practiced properly, only can one expect a healthy environment, and we can make the earth a better place to live in. Reduce. The first step is to reduce the waste. When something we use is put to use thoroughly, the waste would be reduced. Reuse. If possible, try to reuse some items. Buying mineral water, soft drink from the market. Try to use those empty bottles for storing other liquid items like water, oil, and so on. They can be reused as fridge bottles for some time. We should try to use cloth bags instead of polythene ones. Recycle. The waste materials generated can also be recycled to give some new form. Metals and glass can be recycled easily to make new articles of metal and glass. Both can be melted and then remolded into new shape and form. Plastic, metals, paper can be easily recycled, and their recycling is being carried out on large scale. Sewage water is also being recycled to provide clean water. Sewage recycling plants have been set up for this purpose. Recycling biodegradable waste. Biodegradable waste can be recycled by some methods like composting, vermicomposting. Composting. It is one of the oldest methods of preparing manure by recycling the nutrients in the waste. Composting is a biological process in which biodegradable organic waste is converted into simpler forms by the action of microorganisms, mainly fungi and bacteria. The product so formed is a rich source of carbon and nitrogen. Look-wise, it resembles soil and is a very good quality manure. It is an organic fertilizer, which is much better than a chemical one. It is a cheap, clean, safe method which reduces a remarkably good quality of decomposable garbage. Vermicomposting. Composting by the use of red worms is called vermicomposting. Red worms are used to decompose the waste. The excreta of these worms add to the nutrient content of the compost. Advantages of composting. Composting enriches the soil with 16 vital elements for the plant. Soil cultivation becomes easy. Keeps the soil cool in summer and warm in winter. Keeps control on the growth of weeds in the garden. Incineration. Incinerators are huge chambers used to burn the waste material. This reduces the quantity of garbage. It is mainly useful in discarding the non-biodegradable waste. To incinerate means to burn. Wastes can be burned in huge incinerators at a high temperature. Hospital waste is disposed of this way. The thermal treatment of waste reduces its volume, and the ashes can be disposed of more easily than the huge amount of unburnt waste. However, there are some problems with this method of disposal. First, most of the waste material that can be recycled. Second, precautions have to be taken to see that harmful gases and particles are not released into the air. Designing safe incinerators which meet this requirement costs money. Lastly, municipal waste in our country has a lot of wet waste. Fuel is needed to burn this kind of waste, which also means a waste of money and natural resources. Recycling of paper. Recycling refers to the process of using the thing in a new form. Paper, which is mainly a plant product, is one of the most useful things in our life. If you look around your classroom, you observe many articles made of paper. Your books and notebooks, your cardboard, the charts and notices on your softboard. It is said that saving paper is saving trees. The fact is that it requires 17 full-grown trees to make a ton, 907 kg of paper. The electricity required in this process is around 4100 kilowatt per hour, which can light an average home for 6 months. The quantity of water required is approximately 3800 liters. To combat with this problem, people are using handmade or recycled papers. Plastics. The word plastic comes from the Greek word plastika, meaning mold. True to its name, plastic can be molded into any shape. Plastic is used in making a variety of things nowadays. But plastic is non-biodegradable. Disadvantages of plastic. Plastic is non-biodegradable and takes millions of years for a plastic bag to degrade. Therefore, plastic is really dangerous for the environment. It is largely used in packaging purpose. The market is filled up with items made of plastic. Plastic is, however, recyclable. We should be little careful while handling plastic. Wrapping of food items by plastic is not suitable. At times, the recycled plastic might come from containers used to store poisonous materials. Thrown away plastics may choke the drains and sewer systems. Swallowing of plastics by animals lead to their death. Gases given out while plastic is being burned are harmful. In major cities, municipal corporations provide separate garbage bins, usually green bins and blue bins, for separating and collecting compostable and recyclable garbage from each house. Green bins are used for collecting compostable waste, while blue bins are used for collecting recyclable materials like plastic, paper, metal, and glass.